Shall we seek out the young man from the other day? Pray, allow me to show you the way.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
I say, we collect as much as we can carry.
Pray, follow me. We are none of us alike in vocation.
'Tis a tad inconvenient that we can't share equipment.
Let us utilize our individual strengths wherever possible. A different path would serve us better now. I'll lead the way. Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be in our favor.
Try not to get hit, lest all that vim go to waste.
Have you a different destination in mind, Master? Very well. I shall follow your lead-ins. 'Tis rather high. It might be beyond our reach.
To think of it, some masters rearrange their party at the drop of a hat. One such arisen dismissed me after only half a day of service.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
I expect this would fetch a fair... Thumb at market.
Perhaps fortune has deigned to aid us at last.
Is there any way to climb up there? I'm not sure what we'll find, but it might be something useful. No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. The early griffin gets the worm, as they say.
Let my magic grant you an elemental food. I will be your shield. Sight arisen. As ever, I'm yours to command. I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
Come, I'll lead the way.
We might scratch another task off our list while we're here, if we are so inclined.
Efficiency is not the only factor worthy of consideration.
I heard a rumour that this land was once a kingdom of beastrons.
Fascinating.
Indeed, though 'tis not widely known among the common folk. Mayhap the one we're here to meet intends to arrive at a different time of day.
Waiting around doesn't seem like to do us much good. What could we be missing here?
Good evening, sir. I trust you fared all right on the roads, despite the hour? You know where to find me.
This might be worth a read.
It couldn't hurt to take a peek.
Well met, sir.
Have you business with the guild, sir? I should be glad to assist you. Do come again.
Well met, sir.
Welcome.
Go on, have a look. Pleasure doing business.
Good evening, sir. I trust...
Shall we get some rest, then?
You'll not believe the journey I've had. I'll wager my horizons are broader than ever.
I trust we've all inspected our equipment.
Off we go then.
Shall we get underway?
There's got to be something fun to do.
Reckon I could best any of these lumps in a scrap.
Mayhap I'll seek out.
My legs are fair numb from walking about town.
You'd think they'd learn by now not to creep up on me.
Wonder if anyone had noticed if I missed training.
The rules at your... From me to bear what young
Gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by...
Ahoy, friend! Have you any time for me today? I dare say we're overdue another talk. There's something I've come to understand during my stolen hours exploring these streets, and I wanted to share it with you. Every last resident in this city is wholeheartedly devoted to living out their lives. It seems a simple observation, I know, but to me, 'twas a revelation. For it made me painfully aware of my own position. Can this existence of mine even be called living when I am so doted upon by my mother? I want to live a life I can proudly call my own, and to achieve it with all that my heart desires. I tire of enduring my mother's coddling, and of having to mind every twitch in her face in order to appease her. Looking at this box, it fills me with courage. 'Tis proof that I am not my mother's servant to be wheeled about as she pleases. 'Tis something I obtained of my own will. Here is the last of the gold I owe you. Pray forgive me for making you wait for it. Now, I'd best be off. I may not be able to wander the city again for some time. There's aught I would do. Thus, I cannot say when next we'll see each other, though I feel sure we shall in time. Perhaps sooner than we might think. Till then, take care, friend.
That was quite a gift. I hope that procuring it was not a burden upon the lad.
'Tis as you say.
Now to report to Captain Brandt. Methinks I know where to find the person you're looking for.
Well, you will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost... hospitality in all. You know where to find me. The rules at your neck.
Dear me.
Time for a nervous.
Welcome.
Over here, if you would.
Good day, sir. What might you be looking for? Welcome, good sir. Should you so desire, I can help you find your truest self. Why, sir, you look exquisite.
No dawdling. The Arisen calls.
Very well, if I must.
Have you business with the guild, sir? I should... be glad to assist you. Do come again.
Well chosen, Arisen. I'm certain you'll master that vocation as no other could.
We shall meet our foes with renewed vigor.
Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality. In all Vern. Worth. You know where to find me. This inspires naught but long as you... If I've time to sit, I'm not working hard enough.
There's a ladder here.
After you, Arisen.
This worrying's giving me an aching back.
How might I be of service? Welcome to Bjorn's Armory. You'll find only pieces of the finest quality line these shelves, and quality's what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the price, just remember, misers die early deaths. Many thanks. I appreciate the business.
What did you think of that story? 'Twas well told and all, but not particularly exciting, eh? I mean, it's the sort of thing you hear bandied about the tavern every other night, isn't it? I'd heard tell of a beggar doing well for himself, so I came out here to learn his ways. Haven't learned much, that's for sure. And by the look of it, he doesn't appear to be making much for his efforts, neither. So where's all his coin coming from, then? Makes a man wonder, it does.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale.
Aye, got some coin to spare your humble storyteller? Much appreciated.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north of Vermund is our curious tale staged, where ventured a hero off left of the page. He delved into a temple of baleful feature, only to be confronted by a four-legged creature. But when our hero drew his blade, unto him a demand was made. And who the asker? Why, the beast! An uncanny affair, to say the least. Yet there was no time for shock and dismay, as, answer my riddle, did the fearsome thing say. The trickery was clear.
Really now, you mustn't shirk your duty, lest you forget 'tis the Arisen we serve here.
I'm well aware of that, thank you.
His foe and banish it thence. With a single strike was the towering beast repelled, to quail in fear at the mortal strength it beheld. Such is the legacy of Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day.
Living's hard. Trims are free, I say.
Gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by a master... the storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north of Vermund is our curious tale staged, where ventured a hero off the page. He delved into a temple of baleful feature, only to be confronted by a four-legged creature.
I've not got food atwixt my teeth, had I?
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't,
Maybe I'll keep it right here.
To each their own, as they say.
Pleasant breeze. Living's hard.
All these people to hire me out.
Oh, good to see everyone.
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale.
My stomach's growling. Time for an early supper.
Mayhap this ladder is here for a reason.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
As I recall, the location of another of our tasks is not far from here.
When the mind is split, the heart must lead. Or so I've learned.
My head hurts just thinking about it.
What to do? I've no mother or father to speak of, you see. So the nice people at the Gracious Hand take care of me. I wanted to get them a present to say thank you, and I thought a bunch of flowers would be just the thing. The problem is, I can't seem to find any good ones. Do you think you could help me? All I need is a bunch of pretty flowers. For true. Thank you ever so much, Arisen. I'm sure you'll find the prettiest flowers that ever were. Hoi, Arisen! Have you brought me a bunch of flowers already? Oh, just look at them. They're the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen. These should brighten the sisters' days. Say, would you mind terribly if I asked you another favor? See, one of my friends taught me a magic spell. It's supposed to let you meet whomever you like. All you have to do is find a silver stone. But there's the problem. Would you find a silver stone and bring it to me, Arisen? For true. I knew I could count on you, Arisen. I'll be waiting.
Our next mission is to acquire a silver stone. Mayhap silver ore will serve. We can purchase it, or mine it up ourselves.
Indeed, you are correct.
this a challenge, Arisen, to see who...
Hail, friend. Have you a spare moment? I've an eye for people, and my instincts tell me you're of trustworthy ilk. I'm in a bit of a quandary, you see. I'm to be gone for a week, with no one slated to mind the house in my stead. Fear not, I only ask your name to list as a tenant. You needn't bother yourself with the cleaning, and I don't expect you to stay cooped up in there, neither. I'd be much obliged if you'd simply consider my home a waypoint on your travels. Sound appealing? Then come on by and have a look-see. I've taken the liberty of marking the location on your map.
Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost host. Much obliged. Inspired north of Mississippi. Look, as long as you think. My bed calls.
Might we not complete our delivery while we're here?
Perhaps once we've concluded this bit of business, we might allow ourselves a moment's rest.
True enough.
Oh, I can't find a silver stone anywhere. Have you fared any better? Oh, just look how it shines. Thank you ever so much. Say, aren't you curious who I want to meet? Well, I'll tell you. My mother and father. I don't even know what they look like, you know. Not to say I'm unhappy at the Gracious Hand, of course. But I'd really like to meet them, even just once. I want to tell them how grateful I am that they gave me life. Oh, it's so shiny. Oh, hi, Arisen. You'll help me again if I need it, won't you? Please say yes.
Miss Daphne seemed pleased with our efforts. Mayhap we ought to pay her another visit sometime soon.
Right you are.
Alms for the poor. Pray grant though.
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
We could pick some...
Well met, Sir Arisen. Might I trouble you for alms for the poor? Many thanks. May fortune smile upon you, kind sir.
We have found a material.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations.
Was I lacking in devotion? Well met, Sir Arisen. Might I trouble you for alms for the poor? Many thanks. May fortune smile upon you, kind sir. Ah, hold on a moment, Sir Arisen. Perchance you would be willing to aid me with another matter. You see, one of the children we care for here at the Gracious Hand has gone missing. Malcolm, his name is. He's a steady lad. I can't imagine he would have run away. This building's very old. It could be that he's found himself in some strange corner of it. Might I impose on you to search for him?
'Twould seem we need to scrounge up information. 'Tis tedious work, but I suppose we had best get to it.
Right you are. Allow me to lead the way. I can take you to our destination.
Malcolm's been really into exploring of late. Just the other day, he was going around telling anyone who'd listen about how he was an ox hair away from making some big discovery.
Maybe I'll treat myself to a tipple before bed.
Say, I've noticed you walking around questioning people. Looking for information, are we? If I were you, I'd pay a visit to the jail next, if you haven't already. The place is full of unsavory characters, as one might expect, who've seen things ordinary citizens aren't privy to. I should know. I was among their company till just recently.
Mayhap if I hang about. Someone will buy aught.
I'll take any chance not
I wonder what it was Malcolm found.
Is Malcolm all right? We were supposed to go exploring together, but I overslept and he went without me. Wish he'd woken me up. I was really looking forward to going down into those vaults.
It is my duty to devote my life to prayer and virtue. What teachings myself he does well. Wickedness has no hold.
No shortage of easy
Nice. It weren't so costly.
I ought to be getting home.
Here to ask aught of me, are you?
I worked hard today. I think I've earned a rest.
Let me get that.
Swapping stories is one of life's great pleasures.
Living's hard, but dreams are free.
Not my kind of place, this.
I think I've earned a rest.
Tell me I haven't got any of these.
Time to be heading home.
I ought to have enough for a few inches of spices.
Malcolm? All he's doing of late is picking through rubble. Don't know why he bothered.
Shall we report back now?
Vaults, you say? By my knowledge, they were sealed off. Ah, but you mention rubble, aye? Then perhaps the lad found a way through. Come, I fear there's not a moment to lose. Pray, follow me, and quickly. I believe this is the place to which the children were referring. Look, there, a hole. Could he have passed through here? There is naught to be done but have a look for ourselves. The passage ahead looks small, but we may be able to squeeze through. Let us make haste.
An ideal location for an ambush. Be on your guard that the enemy may not surprise you.
Let us proceed with caution. Eyes peeled, ears pricked.
Malcolm, thank goodness you are unharmed. You have my eternal gratitude, Sir Arisen. Now I can breathe freely at last.
Sir Kendrick, you'll never believe what I've found. It's just up ahead. Books, sir. Books, books, and more books. It's like some sort of secret workshop.
Truly? Perhaps we ought to take a look.
We ought not lose sight of our guide.
I suppose 'tis so.
I grant your weapon a magical boon.
Over here.
Heavens above!
Isn't it amazing? And I found it. Me.
'Tis quite a find indeed. Is this some manner of archive? Why, I've ne'er seen so many books. This collection must be worth a fortune. 'Tis a veritable treasure trove of wisdom. Might I ask that you not share the existence of this place with others, Sir Arisen? We cannot allow the knowledge accumulated here to be misused or mistreated. We ought to entrust its care to someone worthy, someone who can appreciate its true value. Pray tell me if you know of such an individual. As for you, Malcolm, I forbid you from telling anyone else about this place. 'Twill be our little secret. Understood?
Oh, but...
However, in exchange for your silence, you may come and go as you please. Let's investigate this place's secrets together, eh?
'Tis quite a collection of tomes. I'm sure I'd be seeing stars, were I the scholarly sort.
Indeed, you are correct. Methinks this will be of interest to Captain Brandt. Shall we go inform him? Methinks I know where to find the person you're looking for. Be on your guard. There are innumerable corners where an enemy might conceal themselves here.
Keep your voice low, lest my heart leap from my throat.
I must ask you to refrain from charging off. Teamwork is the crux of our strategy.
Don't be such a worrywart. I know what I'm doing.
Pray, follow me. Have you taken leave of your senses, Arisen?
When does my watch?
This isn't the way to our destination, but I presume you've a new one in mind. Lead on.
Perhaps the Arisen has recalled some more pressing business. Fret not. I'm sure we'll come back to this eventually.
We're here, and none the worse for wear.
Welcome to the Star Drop Inn. We serve all manner of fine ales here. Shall I pour you a cup to start you off? What a delight. Well met, sir. Fine wares.
Greetings, Your Majesty. Have you a moment to speak? There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen Your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. You've done a fine job culling those monsters, Your Majesty. 'Tis common knowledge among the people that 'twas you who delivered them from danger. The number of those who seek out this tavern in the hope of an audience with the Arisen grows by the day. Should you continue to display such valor, the day will soon come when Disa can no longer deny your presence. And ere it slips my mind, pray, take this. 'Tis a symbol of my own gratitude.
We have achieved our objective.
Indeed. You've culled more than your fair share of monsters. I expect tales of your valor will soon be told in taverns.
Aptly said.
You've come! Glad to see you, friend. So, what say you? Would you care to live here in my absence? As I've said, you needn't worry about tending to the place. Many thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you. I'll stop by again in a week's time, but till then, farewell.
I'm all for camping, but solid walls are a joy that can't be beat. And ours for a full week at no charge. What a... Steve, getting proper rest is an important duty in its own right.
Good morrow, everyone.
Off we go then.
I hope you slept well. Someone is looking this way. Is there aught about me that caught their eye?
Should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today...
What?
My. I'm trapped like a rat in a cage. This Arisen's both shrewd and fleet of foot. What? Can't you think of a reason? I'd thought you were keener wit than that. Let's just say there are some who don't want you wandering about as you please. I was to report on your comings and goings, you see. But I suppose that job's over. Now you found me out? So, how about it, friend? Will you let me go? I've no reason to trouble you any further. Aye, aye. You'll have your coin. That's how this works, isn't it? Greed will get you nowhere, friend. But worry not. You won't need it where you're headed.
You'll not live to regret this! Let my magic grant you an elemental boon!
You there! Halt!
Shit! We're in for it now.
With all likelihood, he is an agent dispatched from Batal. Pray, let us handle the rest. We will hear all he has to say before the week is out. I bid you, wait till then.
Yes, sir!
We shall see how bold you are in eyes.
Do not test me. It'll do you no good letting me rot in here, you know. Enough.
Gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale.
There's a ladder here.
After you, Arisen.
I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north of Vermund is our curious tale staged, where ventured a hero off the page. He delved into a temple of baleful feature, only to be confronted by a four-legged creature. But when our hero drew his blade, unto him a demand was made. And who the asker? Why, the beast! An uncanny affair, to say the least. Yet there was no time for shock and dismay, as "Answer my riddle," did the fearsome thing say. The trickery was clear. To respond meant certain doom. But in the midst of his answer, he'd doubtless be consumed. So a mighty attack did our hero dispense, to conquer his foe and banish it thence. With a single strike was the towering beast repelled, to quail in fear at the mortal strength it beheld. Such is the legacy of Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day. Gather round! Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north of Vermund is our curious tale staged, where ventured a hero of